Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. The last episode that we recorded was for the Banda tag. And I hope you guys really enjoyed that one because it was really fun to make it. And I'm sorry to disappoint anybody who was fluent in Spanish because I was struggling.
She's really struggling. For those of you guys that don't know, she really doesn't speak Spanish on the daily. And I was struggling because I don't usually speak Spanish to her. Anytime we have a conversation, it's in English. So it was a little bit.
That was hard. But this week's episode is gonna be a little bit more serious. I don't really like making serious podcasts, but I think sometimes it's necessary so that you guys get the point that we're trying to help everybody and make this a positive experience. So we try to switch it up once in a while.
We just want to keep everyone as motivated as possible to be their best selves.
Yep. So today we found 3 posts on Instagram. So the first one that we found says, you gotta step out of your comfort zone, be broke for a while, lose friends, have sleepless nights, and most people don't get it though. So to me, this means that people constantly tell you okay, you have to put in your head that sometimes you are going to be sleepless because either of stress or because you're trying to reach your goal and you're not getting enough sleep or whatever the case is a different scenario for everybody. And I feel like people just don't understand that those are some things that you need to do in order to be successful. You can't just think that from night to morning you're going to become rich and you're going to reach all the goals that you've been setting for yourself. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to, it's a process. You have to distance yourself from the people who are not helping you reach your goals. You have to work hard, so that means less sleeping or that you're stressed because you're thinking about how you're going to do the next move. Especially stepping out of your comfort zone. I think that's the biggest one because you have in your mind that, I like this, and this, and I feel comfortable and safe doing this, but maybe you're going to be successful if you step out. And for example, if you're a person who always had an office job and then all of a sudden you're you get laid off or something and you have to find something else and you don't want to go into a warehouse or a manufacturing place because you're used to being in an office space. But you don't know if you're going to strive more in the new position in the warehouse because you stepped out of the comfort zone.
I think for someone like me who's an introvert and I really don't like change, I like to do things. I'm weird though because I don't like change, but I also don't like routines. I don't know how that makes any sense, but if you think about it, at least me, having to think about waking up every single day and doing the exact same thing step by step every single day really brings my motivation down to try to do anything new.
So then I don't understand that either because how do you not like routines but you don't like changing?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's where I need to find a balance because I don't like to do everything step by step the same every single day. So in order for me not to do things step by step, I also need to have change on a daily basis. So it's not always the same thing that I'm doing.
I think having a routine is good. It's different for everybody, right? But personally, I like to have a routine. I wake up in the morning. This is my routine in the morning. Recently, since I started my job, I wake up about an hour and a half before I have to go to work. The first thing I grab, and I know this is bad, is I grab my phone to make sure maybe I didn't put it to charge in the night, so I have to charge it, right? And then I check the time, and I wake up. No, I get up and I take a shower and then I get ready. It's basically the same thing in the morning. I come over here, I turn on the water, do my coffee, and then by the same time every day I'm out the door. But at the same time, I like, how can I explain it? I guess I like the fact that I have that routine in the morning because I know that at work or whatever, it's always something different. So it really doesn't bother me, I guess, because of that. Because when I go to work, it's never the same thing.
No, but for example, you wake up, you get up, you take a shower, you brush your teeth, you fix your lunch, you get dressed, you walk out the door, you get in your car, you drive to work, you sit at your computer, you do the exact same thing, you come back home, you get out your car, you come in the door, take off your shoes, and start cooking. Then, like that, like, the whole day is the exact same thing. That's when it gets to me, because then I'm like, what am I looking forward to? I already know what's going to happen tomorrow. I already know what's going to happen the next day, because it's all a routine and it's always doing the same exact thing over and over again.
That's true. You should challenge yourself to do something different every day. At least something small. Like, instead of waking up and right away, what do you do when you wake up?
I was talking to Anna about this the other day. Like, what's the first thing?
Like, the absolute first thing when you open your eyes in the morning.
Right, and I don't have a very first thing that I do. Like, sometimes I'll go straight to my phone. Then other times I'll go to the bathroom first. Or, like, I don't always do the same thing as soon as I open my eyes.
Same, actually. I don't know, but something different. Like, instead of packing your lunch before you do your hair, do it after.
Right, or plan on going out one day of the week, during the week, not on the weekend. Like,
right.
On Wednesday, you decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to go out and have some coffee with a friend or something.
Or take a different route to work.
Mm-hmm.
Something small can make a big difference. And that also ties into stepping out of your comfort zone and whatnot.
Another important thing to appreciate when you actually are financially stable is going through a very broke part of your life.
Yes, I feel like that motivates you even more to keep going, because you don't want to be back to where you were.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be that person that's stressing and like, oh my God, what am I going to do for rent? What am I going to do for my cell phone? Like, all these things. It's so financially freeing.
Mm-hmm.
And such a good feeling to know that the changes that you've made are not going to allow you to go back to that spot.
In regards to losing friends, I think it's important to grow out of a friendship, because of course you're not always going to be the exact same person. Everybody's going to change.
Yes.
I think throughout life everyone's going to change. Of course you're not going to have the same interests that you had when you were 10 years old. It's going to be something completely different. And whoever you were really close with when you were 10 years old now has different interests from you, so it's okay to grow away from that person.
Mm-hmm. Like, for example, for me, I know that a lot of girls that I went to school with, they're either in a relationship, in a committed relationship, they have kids, they have their family, whatever, and that's not my scene, that's not who I am right now. So I've let go of a lot of friends that do have kids, because same like you said, you have different interests. They're not interested in hanging out and going out because they have their kids, they have their person that they're spending their time with. So I feel actually that if that happens to you, don't get hurt. Right. It's like all those pictures that I've seen on Instagram, like, you tell me I've changed, but I just grew up, or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm. I think it's important to be mature in a lot of the situations. Like, with me too, I feel like I had a lot of friends that I stopped talking to for the same reason, because now we're in very different paths of life. That doesn't mean I don't care for them anymore. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that, whenever they're free, of course we can hang out. It's just that we just grew out of that friendship. We just grew out of wanting to see each other regularly, because we're no longer in the same path in life, and that's fine, and I'm okay with it, and I'm so happy that they went through another path than me, and they're learning other experiences that I'm not learning yet. I'm so happy for them.
Crying ass. Dude, if that were ever to happen to me and Vero, I think I would be sad. because y'all have heard me talk multiple times about my friend Veronica in these podcasts, and if that was to happen, though, I think that I would become sad because I want to see her succeed, and we've been talking about it all this time, and I don't know if I talked about it already, but she has been wanting to go to this medical vet school forever, you guys. It's in the Bahamas, and she got in. She starts in like the end of December, the beginning of January. And that's also, I guess I'm contradicting myself because I want to keep her as a friend because I want to see each of us grow. Like, I want us to experience us growing as a person together.
But I feel like you guys are old enough, or you guys are at an age where you guys are still friends, so there's more possibility that you guys stay friends than not.
Yeah, that's true. Because, I mean, something just happened this previous week that it's actually what we're talking about now, that we just grew apart and her interests aren't mine anymore. And unfortunately, I had to tell her that. I don't even know if she listens to these podcasts, but never mind. I'm not going to talk about that. Just know, I mean, I still love her because she was my best friend. And if we ever talk again, then I know it was something special.
But that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like to have a friendship, to be really good friends with someone, you guys have to have the same interests. Or else you guys are just friends just to be friends. Because, of course, I'm not going to be hanging out with someone who loves politics. Who loves politics. I'm not going to be friends. Like, if that's what they really love and they're so passionate about it, then there's really not a lot that we're going to be able to talk about. There's really not a lot that we're going to be able to connect to, for the same reason that we're not with the same interests. We're not enjoying the same things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
high-key wouldn't be with a person who's into politics because
that's a lot.
I don't mind politics, but I don't know enough about the subject to make a conversation. So if they're not on the same views that I am, it makes me angry. But I shouldn't be angry because it's okay to have a different opinion.
Sleepless nights. Having sleepless nights. And I know that the majority of us have gone through this. And it's just something so... Once you get through those nights where you can't sleep, where everything just seems like such a burden, where you don't know how you're going to get out of a certain situation. Once you get out of that and you can finally go to sleep, and as soon as you go to sleep, you can fall asleep.
It's a good feeling.
It's a really good feeling to not have so much worry.
Yeah. But at some point in your life, it's going to happen.
Right, so that like, appreciate it. Like, I understand it's really difficult to appreciate a bad moment, but appreciate when something bad happens, because you know that once you get through it, you're going to have a whole new experience, a whole new look on life, and you're going to be able to talk to someone who might just be going through it, and you might be able to give them some advice that they really need.
Okay, the second one that we found was your entire life really can change in a year. Just love yourself enough to know you deserve more, be brave enough to demand more, and disciplined enough to work for more. So, I don't know, we were actually talking about this before we started recording, that we don't know if we want to talk about how this year has been going so good for us so far. I'm just going to leave it at that. And it's because we went through the previous one. We stepped out of our comfort zone by leaving the job that we had. We were broke for a while. We lost friends throughout our whole life, and going back to us leaving our job has led to us having sleepless nights because of being stressed and all of that. But it all started with us knowing that we deserve better. So we didn't want to continue to stay in a spot where we knew there wasn't any advancement, there was no encouragement, there was no way of
seeing a future.
Basically there was no way of you seeing a future, being in that spot, being happy and while being in that spot. So I think that was a big step that we took, and we will always continue to talk about that because that was a big change that we didn't see coming so soon.
And I think that goes with even like a romantic relationship or a friendship or anything where you don't see yourself growing anymore, or anything where you don't see that someone else is encouraging you to be a better person. Let it go. It's not good for you. It's not good mentally or physically for you, because again, it goes back to when you're in a place where you're not happy and you're constantly there, you're gonna have not only 5 sleepless nights, you're gonna have sleepless nights almost every single day, because you're not happy with yourself. You're not happy with the place where you are.
And it shows. Like, you can tell in a person, even though they're smiling and they're putting this facade, I don't know if that's the correct word to use, but it shows. Like, you can tell that a person isn't happy. Especially, like, for example, me that I work, I have to talk on the phone with the customers, right? And they can tell that by the way that I answer the phone, if I'm having a good or a bad day. And so far, I don't think I've ever answered the phone with a nasty attitude. Like, at my previous job, even the owner would tell me, like, Selena, you need to smile when you answer the phone. Like, how do you know I'm not smiling? Like, what? You're not looking at me. I'm just talking to you on the phone. Because you can tell that I wasn't happy. I wasn't at a spot where I was able to express myself, and I was able to have that freedom of being so happy and open that the way that I spoke translated to the clients, the customers, the employees, and everybody. So that's something that you can tell right away. And I actually heard, I don't know where I heard, I don't know if it was in the radio or in a video or something, that somebody said that we cannot give ourselves the luxury of being able to have an easy day, especially if we're not where we want to be. So you can't just go home and be like, oh, I'm done for the day, and expect everything to come to you if you're not working for it. So that goes back to being disciplined enough to work for more. Being disciplined enough to work for what you want. Putting in your head that, okay, this is what I want and this is how I'm going to get here. And dropping these friends and getting out of my comfort zone and leaving this job and opening my mind to other things is going to get me there. So you can't just get home and take off your bra and call it a day.
Like, I know so many people that have wanted to have their own business, but they're too scared to leave their job because they know their job is secure. So the day has 24 hours. Let's say you're working 8 hours a day for somebody else. You're putting in that time for somebody else. Why would you not put in 4 hours a day for yourself? 4 hours a day to try to make a business for yourself, try to make a brand, try to become an entrepreneur. Like, if that's really what you want, why not work for it? If you're working so hard for somebody else, work that hard for yourself as well. And I feel like a lot of us don't take that step or don't take that leap of faith because we're so scared of what can happen.
Yeah.
But we don't think about, when I take that leap of faith, I'm going to become my own boss. Or when I take that leap of faith, I'm finally going to have my own business. Or when I take that leap of faith, I'm finally going to be able to take care of my parents financially and they're going to be able to stop working. We focus so much on the negative that we bring more negative towards us. When we focus on the positive and the positive change one different step can make, why would we not do it?
And that's how we started the podcast too, because we were thinking, like, how are we gonna do this podcast if we're always at work and our schedule, we got off work later than most people, right? So by the time we got home, we were like, whatever. But no, we had to start it. We had to do something to start this and finally make our dream come true. And we did it, and we're here, and we're growing, and we're so thankful because we've been working hard. And I know especially my sister, because she's the main one editing these episodes right now. And I know that putting it in your head, putting something in your head and setting your goals is going to help you. That's going to be the main thing that's going to help you to achieve everything.
I think in order for you to have something successful, or in order for you to have something in your life that is worth it, you're going to go through bad times. Like right now that we're doing this podcast, it's really difficult to get people to listen to our podcast because there's so many podcasts out there.
There's a lot.
But I feel like if we're our true selves, as long as one person listens to our podcast and says, you know what, those are the words we really needed to hear today, I think it's worth all the work we put into it. It's
very satisfying. Especially to know, like, if we get responses from our podcast, like, oh my God, I really like this podcast. I like what you said here. Like, that's another motivator for us to keep going. And not be like, like, we only have 10 listeners. Okay, whatever. Maybe we help those 10 listeners to have a better day tomorrow.
Right. And I think that's one of the things that I had to start looking into is stop focusing so much on the negative or on everything that's not happening with the podcast and start focusing on what is happening with the podcast. And with this, we are moving on to our next statement that we found.
And that is, waking up each morning is the first thing you should be grateful for. And that is so true, and that is something my dad does every day. He used to get mad at us, or he used to ask us, like, se despertaron y le dieron gracias a Dios porque you guys are alive, and we'd be like, oops, like, no. But I know he always wakes up and he says a little prayer and he's thankful for waking up. And I'm hard-headed because that should be a thing for me to see, like, okay, my dad he's getting old and he still thanks God for being alive every day, you know? And also, I saw a video the other day. I don't know if any of you watch Shani. I think I've mentioned her a couple times. She recently made a video of following a morning routine from motivational speakers. And one of the things in the morning they told her to do was to wake up and think about 3 positive things. And that automatically starts your day off on a good note because you're already being thankful for the things that you have, like the smallest things. So thank God that you did your nails last night and you woke up and they're not messed up. Or, oh, thank goodness my dog didn't wake me up so early to take him out to the bathroom. You know, small little things that you're grateful for can make such a big difference in your day.
One of the things that I've been incorporating, and I've done it, I'm pretty sure it's been all this week, has been that of waking up each day and just being thankful that I was actually able to wake up. Because there's a lot of things that we do on a daily basis that we're like, oh, I shouldn't have done it that way, or oh, I shouldn't have said this to this person, you know. And I feel like waking up every day is like getting a new opportunity to fix things, or getting a new opportunity to start from scratch, to do things the way you wanted to do them yesterday. And just waking up and having that first thought in your mind of gratitude is something that is, like, I can't even explain the feeling of waking up and saying thank you, and the peace that you feel. Instead of your phone being the first thing that you grab, have gratitude be the first thing that you want to grasp as soon as you wake up.
Yeah. Two examples that I have that happened at work today. So the girl that sits in front of me, she got there and she looked like she was in a funk. And then the supervisor saw her and she was like, "Are you okay?" And she turned around and she's like, You know what I decided right now that you asked me that?" And we're like, "What?" She's like, "That I'm going to have a good day." She's like, I'm like, "See, that's the attitude." I'm like, it's very cloudy outside today. I wore a bright ass shirt with my bright ass shoes because I saw the weather outside, and I'm like, nope, not today. And she got to work with the funk, but she decided that, okay, things could be worse, so let me calm down, and I'm going to decide that I'm going to have a good day. And then another thing that opened my eyes to be grateful for the small things was because one of one of our dealers, they had a tornado hit them last night, and a lot of people a lot of their families of the dealer lost their homes, and they said that they were hoping to enjoy their holiday weekend, but unfortunately they weren't gonna be able to because they had to clean up all the mess that the tornado made. And then we were like upset and sad for them, but then Sarah was like, you know what? She's like, this opens my eyes to be more thankful for the small things that we have. She's like, because in a way it's so sad that happened to them, but also it's good that they still have their job, because something as small as that can just give you reassurance, like, okay, things can be so much worse. Like, this building could have been gone too. I could have woke up to no job today. So that changed my whole mood for the day too. Like, we can't be complaining about the small things, like, oh, I did this eyebrow different than this one and now my whole day is ruined. Like, girl, no, there's worse things going on in the world.
And with that, it's also important when you're going through something bad, it's at least for me, it's important to feel it and to understand that, you know, I'm pissed off, or I'm sad, or I'm feeling some type of way. Just feel it for a little bit and then let it go. Like, it's fine. I'm feeling angry right now. It's gonna be okay. And it's something that's another thing that I need. There's so many things that at least I feel like I need to learn. That's another thing, is when I'm angry, I need to learn how to reflect on my anger and how to understand why I'm angry, and then just let it go and move on, and everything's gonna be fine. Because at least for me, when I'm angry, I can make anybody else around me get angry too.
That's a fact. No, but that's true, because I wonder if that's like the same thing as manifesting. You know how they say you have to think about it for 68 seconds or something? If you think about something bad, do you manifest that bad thing too?
I was reading something a lady said. She said, if you're feeling sad and you give that sadness the power or the time of day, you're bringing that sadness back. And I know it's going a little bit against what I just said, like, feel it, but what I would do is feel it and let it go, and then think about a positive thought. Like, okay, I'm angry, this is what happened, I'm letting it go so I can enjoy this beautiful sun.
Yeah. Think about something good that happened to you before that.
Because being around somebody with bad energy trust me, energy sticks to people.
A lot.
So if I'm in a funky mood and Selena's with me all day, it's gonna stick to her too, because energy is that powerful.
Yes. And I don't want to keep talking about my job, but I just like it so much. Their main thing is the culture of the company. So with that comes treating the employees good, praising the employees when they do something good, prizes, vacations, like all these benefits that we get at the job. And that translates to their customers. So their customers are going to see, like, oh my God, like, this is such a good company. Everybody's always so happy. Like, I wonder what goes on in that building, you know? And it's a good feeling, because I already mentioned this, but you can tell right away when somebody is in a bad mood. Like, the way their tone, the way they're talking, the way they're looking at you.
Even if they're not talking, you can just feel.
That too. A lot of people, when they're upset, they don't talk. So you can automatically, like, oh, like, okay, let me not say anything. But yeah, that's the main thing. Like, your attitude transfers to the people around you. So always just think, like, do I really want to make these people have a bad day because I'm having a bad day? Like, nah. It's not that serious. It's never that serious.
And also, it's very easy for, like, if I'm having a bad day, it's really easy for me to say a stupid comment. For example, to Selena, like, you're so stupid, your hair is so ugly, or something, right? And then that comment that I said because of my bad energy and the way I use my words is going to go into your head, and that's all you're going to be thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us, we let other people's opinions affect how our attitude goes as well. Even if I'm not in a bad mood, even if I'm trying to be all happy and everything, and I just see someone I don't like, and then I'm going to say something negative towards them, the way I'm letting that energy get out of my body is, it might affect them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to think about how we let other people's words affect us as well.
That's also like, we have this thing, I don't know if a lot of people do it too, that we get upset at somebody. Like, okay, I'll get upset at Alejandra because I told her to take out the garbage and she didn't. And then I'll get home and be like, Jesus Christ. And then I'll be like, nope, you know what? God bless her. It's okay. Maybe she wasn't feeling like taking out the garbage. It's fine. I can take it out. No big deal. Let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if you're going into the store and somebody looks at you funny.
Mm-hmm.
Or if, I don't know, something negative that somebody else does, we always, how do you say, we bendecirlos.
We always bless them.
Yeah, we always bless them. Like, God bless you. I hope you have a better day. I don't want your energy to come to me, so I'm telling you, Dios esté contigo, and there, leave it alone, let it go.
I have a funny story. So I think it was this week. I think it was like Monday or something. I took Anna to Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
The cashier lady, you guys, was so pissed off that I'm not even lying to you. She didn't say hi to us. Her face was nasty and she kept yawning.
Oh my God.
And I'm just looking at her like, and if it would have been another day, I would have let that affect me. Like, who does she think she is? Like, she's working in customer service. You should have a nice attitude. But I'm not even kidding you guys. She would grab the stuff, scan it, and throw it inside her bag. And I was looking at her and I was cracking up like, why is this lady so mad? And I would just turn to look at me and I would just be looking at that lady like, why is she so mad? So, at Walmart they have the bags, and then on the top you can put things, right? Uh-huh. She would scan things and throw it right there in the top, and scan something else and throw it right there. And then when she had enough things, she would grab them and throw them in the bag. And
what?
I'm like, this lady's having a really bad day. So then, Anna paid whatever, we're walking out. And she's like, damn, that lady was having a bad day. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know if maybe everybody has this, or maybe it's Walmart's anniversary. I don't know. I'm like, but on her name tag, it said 10 years. And she's like, damn, that's why she's mad, because she's been working for 10 years straight. So it's like, don't let someone else's mood affect you. Like,
right.
You don't know what they're going through. Just let it go. It's fine. Whatever. Like I'm saying, if it would have been another day, I would have been mad. I would have been like, why is she throwing your stuff? Why is she doing this? But I just, whatever. And I just laughed about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that lady, she was an old, mad lady. She was throwing stuff like crazy. I'm like, damn.
Oh, no. But yeah, you guys, I feel like just the main thing is don't be afraid of changing certain things. Like I said, as small as when you put your glasses on in the morning, or the way you get dressed in the morning, the route you take to work, what you eat. Like, something small, just small changes can really change your day and your whole life experience. We just want everybody to think more positive and see the good side of life, because you always have to think it could be worse.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you guys, that is it for this episode. We are going to continue to push the Dressing My Confidence challenge, because we want to see you guys more confident and more positive, and this is going to be a great way to do that. Just that, there you go, change your outfit. Change the things that you're used to wearing. Put on a jean jacket, or maybe you don't like wearing pants. Wear some pants tomorrow or something, Something small. Okay, y'all. Always remember, stay positive
and be happy.
And that is it for today.
We will catch you on our next episode.
Bye, everybody.